Hello everyone. On October the 4th, 23, Mars enters the sign of Libra. This is the last transit before he goes home into Scorpio. This ends his 2-year transit around the zodiac. Now at this point he's tired. He just got his sights on those home fires, if you like. But my goodness, there's no easy transit here. The minute he enters a sign, he's in a mighty battle with the south node of the moon, Ketu. This conjunction Mars-Ketu will affect everybody. It's a very strong indication that all of us in some way have to leave the past behind. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's go. Look at the astrology, everybody. 4th of October, Mars enters Libra, but he's been moving towards this combustion with Ketu for the last week. Violent, sudden events, changes, knowing that something has to go. Something has to change in everybody's life, whether you want it or not. We've got to learn to let go during this Mars-Libra transit. You see, everybody, Mangala is weakened when he's in Libra. Why? He's 12th to his own sign of Scorpio. He's at the end of his 2-year transit around the zodiac. He's 7th to his own sign, Aries. He's not in a position to fight very much, but he's going to have to face Ketu in a YUKTA yoga, a very violent and destructive conjunction. See everyone, wherever this conjunction takes place, Ketu is always victorious. Ketu is a headless fighter. We have two fire energies coming together. They're going to conflict. But more than that, Ketu is the one who is the more violent, the more destructive than Mangala. And he always defeats Mars, especially when Mars is weakened, as I've just explained in this sign of Libra. So what does this mean? It means we all have to bite the bullet and do something we put off for some time and let something go. We shouldn't fight things which are ending during October. Shouldn't try to fight destructive situations with our ego, with demands. We should always compromise. If we compromise, let go during October, everybody comes out in a much better state, believe me. But the good news is that Jupiter, all the way through the transit, aspects Mars and Ketu. Jupiter will show you a way out. Do not fear. Way out is there. Stay patient. Don't become overreactive to these crisis situations developing during October. Now, Libra rules two things: relationships and the marketplace, financial markets as well. So it's a big change around in many people's relationships. Touchy, temperamental factors are there. Stay calm, everybody. And in marketplace and financial sectors also. See everyone, this Mars Libra is a Gandanta energy because Libra is ruled by Venus Jala, water, and Mars is fire. And of course, Venus Dispositor is in a fire sign. What a mixture of energies. It means that emotions become high, temperamental reactions, impulsivity rule the day, and we should try to stand aside from all of this as much as we can. It's not the time for taking too many financial risks, although some signs have more opportunity than others. It's still difficult. And don't forget, the most important thing to understand, everybody, about this October is that 3 shifts are taking place. And this Mars-Ketu is simply showing that dynamic, changing energy of letting the past go. Let's have a quick look at those. First thing is that Shani is going to turn direct in Aquarius, where he's been for some time. He's been retrograde. Now, when he turns direct, all the karmas that are going to manifest for you in this Saturn-Aquarius transit start to happen. So, 4th of November, bang in the middle of this transit, Saturn turning direct helps everybody to move ahead with the necessary changes that Mars-Ketu has initiated. Now, I won't be posting any video about Saturn direct. It's not necessary at all. I've already got a very intricate and detailed analysis, everybody, for your sign of Saturn Aquarius transit. Please check that out because all of those karmas start to manifest from middle of November. The link is below. And shortly before Saturn turns direct, the eclipses happen. Very important because Mars actually is a dispositor of this first solar eclipse, happening actually in sidereal Virgo, but influenced by this Mangala-Ketu conjunction. And then the lunar eclipse on the 28th of October. Once again, the video is linked below for you to really understand how these eclipses are shifting your life in a completely new direction. It doesn't stop there, everybody, because Rahu, the north node of the moon, is about to go backwards into a new sign of Pisces on the 31st of October. 1.5 year transit, a whole new beginning, a whole new phase of fortune, difficulty, changes, whatever it is for your sign. You must check that out as well. The link is once again below the video. Rahu into Pisces. So it's very clear, isn't it? With all of these major changes, eclipses, Shani going direct, Rahu changing sign. Everybody is on a new trajectory in November, December onwards. So get prepared for it and don't resist too much. These are turbulent times, everybody. Stay calm. So have courage, everybody, and be really brave, because you know what? Jupiter's going to give you that. Jupiter aspecting Mangala right the way through helps everybody make the right decisions, make the right choices, do not fear. And when Ketu goes out of Libra, as I say, 31st of October, Mars alone in this sign, it becomes easier, less challenging. So October is a tricky time, there's no doubt. And finally, Ketu rules aeroplanes, aviation industry. There can be difficulties there, particularly around the beginning of October. But please understand also that Ketu rules the US of A, has a big, significant impact on America. In some traditions of astrology, Ketu represents America. So this solar eclipse, by the way, happening 14th of October, I've spoken about on my eclipse video. It's going to impact America in a big way. There's a big power balance shift happening, and it goes on for 6 months. But in everybody's life, there are definite shifts to a new direction, and we should all be brave. Bite the bullet, as I say. Just do the things we've been putting off for so long and let go of what is no longer working. That's the energy of this Mars Libra transit. We are reading from your Vedic moon and ascendant sign both to get the most depth information here. Don't forget, this must be sidereal sign, Vedic sign. If you don't know your Vedic moon or ascendant, check the link at the bottom of the video to a website where you can bring up your chart. Let's go. For Aries ascendant, Aries moon, Mangala is your lord, but he's in a very weakened position. I've just explained that in detail to you. Mars in Libra is weakened. He can't fight, and he's fighting Ketu, the lord of your 8th house. Ketu will always win. So the big change has to happen relationship-wise, business-wise. Some plans you've got, financial plans particularly, cannot work the way you would like them to. So have courage. You've got plenty of courage, Aries. Don't fight this situation. Mangala is in a weakened position also. Marika Karakastana. Your health is very vulnerable now. You're getting very stressed during this whole Mars transit. Stay calm. Jupiter's still in your sign, giving you opportunities, but you need to listen to other people. You definitely need to compromise. So certainly relationship challenges will be there. Financial factors contributing to that. Business people, you've got to compromise. Business partner might be giving you agitation as well. The boss might be challenging or doing something which is agitating you. Don't get into those confrontations, or with your family. But Mars aspecting ascendant does have one good factor. You can take your health matters into control. Jupiter is aspecting Mars from your first house. Pay attention to your health. Give a lot of energy to protecting your own energy, as it were. Taking time for yourself, getting away from all of the agitations, quarrels. Don't forget, very soon your Lord Mangala will go into his own second sign of Scorpio. Really, your sign is not the main sign. Scorpio is. Your sign is the fighting sign, the fort. Scorpio is the home. So when Mars goes home into Scorpio, you will refresh yourself completely. The end of November becomes very good for you. For Taurus ascendant, Taurus moon, like everyone, compromises have to be made. But this is going to help your health, help your power situation in the workplace. You're going to come out better from a lot of difficult, challenging situation. Mars in the 6th house is a powerful and favorable transit. So Taurus moon and ascendant will definitely take care of health situations they've been putting off. Issues you've just been letting go, not being really bothering with, will really come up now. You'll finally bite the bullet, take action, make your health better through powerful, innovative changes. Mars and Ketu, of course, are conjuncting, and they both rule your 7th house. Some of your relationships come to an absolute crisis point, but in a way, you've been working towards this. Mars here puts you in a very strong position By the way, litigation and all of these things will absolutely go your way, particularly after 31st of October. You may be traveling this time. Take a little bit of caution because around eclipse time, check that video on my channel, there are some delays, difficulties there. But Mars aspects first house, most important aspect, showing that you are renewing yourself. You're taking courage, motivation, getting a lot of things which you've left undone done. It's a powerful and motivating transit for Taurus moon and ascendant. Of course, the eclipses are happening here in your 6th house, 12th house. Check the video on my channel, Eclipse Cycle, link is below, because this is what is shifting your life into a new direction. But Taurus, despite all of the turbulence going on around you, you're going to stay calm and get what needs to be done. So it's a changing time, but you're shifting into a powerful new direction. Make the most of the energy given to you actually during this 6th house transit to make the changes you need to make. Mars going into your 5th house, Gemini moon and ascendant. It's going to impact education for students, making some difficult changes there, difficult decisions, but Jupiter brings you through. It's going to be fine. You get lots of study energy. Mars aspects 8th house, 12th house. Students get a lot accomplished in the transit. If you have children, though, difficulties, sudden events with them cause you some distress. Once again, everything gets easier, like I've said beginning of the video, once Mars gets to the end of the sign from November onwards. Actually, Mangala here gives you creative energy, but makes you terribly impulsive. Avoid impulsive financial decision speculation. At least wait until November when Mars gets away from Ketu. The whole transit, of course, is actually clued into the eclipses, and Mercury, your Lord, is going to be eclipsed, so watch out for that 14th of October. So really, everything depends on you staying calm, coming through those difficult moments, middle of October, end of October, lunar eclipse, and then November, you're sailing ahead much happier. So be prepared for some bumpy roads. Make sure you've checked out the eclipse video on my channel. Link is below, because Mars here gives you creativity, innovation, good ideas come to you. If you are creative person, writer, creative person in any artistic field, you're going to get inspiration during the whole transit. So buckle down. The 8th house, 12th house gives you the energy to do the work privately. Do your work. Don't get agitated by other people. And you come out. Even new job opportunities come at the end of the transit because Jupiter opens the door. Cancer moon and ascendant, Mangala is a good planet for you. He's actually Yoga Karaka, gives you strength. In the 4th house, he's in a weakened position, and he's with Ketu in a Yukta Yoga. Some domestic situation isn't going to work out as you planned. Moves, renovations come against all sorts of hassles, particularly during October. Watch relationships, because Mars aspects 7th house. You'll be very pushy in your domestic sphere, in your relationships, and confrontations, quarrels are definitely bound to happen. But most of all, watch yourself in your career. Mars aspecting 10th house here. Jupiter is there. You are expanding. Things are working out, but just don't become too impulsive. It's about home work balance, working from home, working not at home. Sometimes something's got to shift. Plans which you'd hope to make in regard to this, maybe working from home, have to shift. But generally, if you become patient here, after the end of October, all of the shifts I've spoken about beginning of the video kick in for you, and it becomes less turbulent, easier to make those domestic changes. Leo moon and ascendant, this is a very powerful time for you, October, November. Watch it, because to begin with, things seem to be falling apart, and then things get completely in your control again. The Mars Ketu Yukta Yoga affects your speech, affects your communication, affects communication in your education, with your father. Foreign travel, local travel is disrupted in a very difficult way. Stay calm. Don't make too many travel plans. Definitely, I would say, during the whole transit, but especially at the beginning. But the good news, Mars is strong here. You're going to come out of every difficulty, the big victor here, Leo. Mars aspects the 6th house. Litigations go your way. You can sort out health problems even with your pet's health. And in the workplace, you make a tremendous shift now. A tremendous power balance shift happens, and you are actually initiating it. But still, with so many shifting energies and eclipses happening here, you must check the video on my channel, Solar Lunar Eclipses, link below, because these will really show you the new direction you have to go in. Don't become too temperamental with your siblings, with your father, with people in the workplace. You've got a lot of voice now. People are listening to you. You don't need to shout. People are hearing now. Virgo ascendant moon, you're becoming hypercritical, hyper-reactive, and definitely watch your speech. Mars in Ketu in your second house is going to be some really difficult confrontations which you don't like. But the thing is, you might just say something that you regret. Watch what you say, stay calm, particularly dealing with children, family members, business issues, even in education for students. Virgos are not generally people who like to put on a show, but you're feeling highly irritated here. Why? Because Mars K2 shows that something about your financial situation, security, future trajectory is becoming unstuck, and it's making you feel insecure. That's what the whole problem is. Watch your financial situation. It's becoming a little bit turbulent, and you've got to let something go. Expenses are going to have to be dealt with. Business situation needs to be changed. Expansion may be ongoing. Jupiter is there, but Mars K2 shows something has to change. Mars aspecting 5th house. You may be tempted by speculative gain, and it may come for some of you because Jupiter is in the 8th house, but definitely not during October. October is the difficult turning point. Students get a lot of energy during this transit, but it's a turbulent time because your mind is distracted. Foreign travel is also difficult. So you're feeling very temperamental, very edgy during this whole transit. Stay calm. When Mars gets into Scorpio in November, all power comes to Virgo. Libra ascendant, Libra moon. Mars is weak in Libra, but he's in your first house. You're going to be saying things you've not said for a long time to your spouse. You're going to be making domestic changes you've wanted to make but not been able to. And you're going to make financial business moves as well. But the thing is, check the beginning of the video. During October, this all becomes difficult. When November comes, Mars energy helps you better. But don't forget, Mars in K2 is all about compromise, and Librans are great at this. So, spouse maybe having issues now, problems, you've got to help with that. Domestic problems, family need your help. Financial problems, you can sort them finally. Take the initiative, but far better taking it in November than in October. On the whole, though, you'll be feeling agitated, ill at ease, probably during the whole transit because Mars does not really gel with Venus, your Lord. So stay calm because very soon Mars goes into Scorpio, giving you power financially, business-wise, and Rahu is going to go backwards into your 6th house. So these whole eclipses happening, check the links below. Eclipses, Rahu transit are going to start Libra in the most powerful position you've been for some time. So get yourself through the turbulence of October, November, and you're going to be in a much stronger position, I promise you. Scorpio ascendant to moon, what a transit for you. Your two lords, Mars and K2, are conjuncting in the 12th house of your chart. You're going to be really feeling that you've got to make a major change in your life, but you don't want to be open about it. You're being really secretive, planning, doing things behind the scenes. Watch out, it doesn't backfire. That's all I have to say. But as I've said, Scorpio, beginning of the video, check it out. Mars conjunct K2 is a very explosive energy. So you're going to have restless nights, sleepless energy. You're going to be feeling all fired up, but not quite knowing what to do. That's the thing. What do you have to do? You have to compromise. Jupiter's still aspecting from your 6th house. Bring out health issues now. Deal with them. Get good advice. Deal with your siblings, neighbors. Don't get confrontational. Same with your spouse. Bring everything out into the open. Compromise. Listen to other people and many of your fears. Mars K2 12th house, is a fearful factor, but you don't like to admit to having fears, do you? So you're going to be subconsciously feeling on edge during the whole transit. Calm it down. It's good for meditative activities, spiritual pursuits, students. Research is fantastic during this time. keep yourself to yourself, ready for the time very soon, middle of November, when Mars, your Lord, goes into Scorpio. Then you can really get moving. Sagittarius ascendant and moon, it's a great transit for you. Yes, Mars will conjunct Ketu. There's something which has to be let go of, but still you're moving forward. Mars is an excellent planet for you, and when he's in the 11th house, doors open and profits come. See, Mars transit 11th house gives you gain, gives you profit, opens doors for you, interviews, promotion, all of it goes really, really well. But Ketu is here, so something has to be let go of. It can't go exactly as you planned, but still fantastic gain opportunity is there. Business people, push out the boat in a new direction. That will be shown to you at the eclipses. Check the videos on my channel. The link is below. Now, Mars is in relationship sign, aspecting the 5th house of romance. Many Sagittarians, a new spark of romance comes. Those who are seeking that, definitely a big possibility. But changes in ongoing attractions as well. Because of this Rahu-Ketu factor, eclipses happening. Once again, do check those eclipse videos. So there's a great opportunity here, Sagittarius, amid all of the turbulence and changes and sudden events everybody else is experiencing. You're going to come through because you're going to find opportunity in the chaos. That's the thing. Capricorn moon, Capricorn ascendant, get ready to bite the bullet in your career situation. Those changes you've been wanting to make, maybe changes behind the scenes now become open. Boss changes, superior changes. The whole organization is shifting with this Rahu-Ketu eclipses happening. Again, check the link below for those important changes. It's a whole new career factor happening here. But really, you have got to be calm about it. Mars in this 10th house makes you super reactive to some changes. Not everything will be exactly as you would like, but actually you're going to gain from the long-term factors. Don't fear. See, Mars is your 4th house lord, and conjuncting Ketu, domestic changes are all part of this. Some of you have to make home moves now. Wait a little while longer when Rahu goes back at the end of October. I hope you've checked out that video. Capricorn, you're going to benefit from this Rahu-Ketu axis. You can make all the domestic changes that have bothered you, confused you, had enormous delays, and definitely make them work out far better for you after 31st of October. And your health can actually benefit. Mars aspects ascendant. You can get fitter. You can get more active. You're definitely going to be very proactive dealing with health situations. Children may be having issues, some of you, and students on educational course, things seem a little bit, let's say, out of control. You're not quite enjoying the course as much for a short while. Do not fear. Mars goes into your 9th house in his own sign of Scorpio, middle of November. You will take control of a difficult academic situation. Do not fear. So it's definitely out with the old, in with the new then, in your career and in your domestic sphere. And definitely Mars will give you courage, tenacity in this transit. But don't forget, as I said, beginning of the video, check it out. It's about a little bit of compromise as well. That will definitely help. Aquarians, watch what you're saying in the next month. Mars is your 3rd lord. Communication is with Ketu in the 9th house. You can get a bit, let's say, agitated in your communication, and it can be difficult dealing with mentors, lecturers, authority figures, boss, and even with your father. Thing is, you're becoming very, very pushy now, feeling the edginess of these new transits because Rahu's going to move into a position in your chart soon, and Ketu affected here, which will make endings possible for you. So you can finally sum up difficult situations in your life. This is the time for getting all your ducks in order. Let things go, calm things down. It's good for students if you just let things pan out the way they're going to. Yeah, there'll be some changes on the course, unexpected changes to the modules you're doing, anything like that. But you will go with this well. You've got tremendous study power here. Mars aspects 12th house. Researchers, students can do good work. Don't let yourself get distracted from it. That's the problem. But Mars and Ketu in your 9th house is about your future. It's about what do you want from your future? What values do you hold dear? What are you willing to do? How do you fight for them? You're in a planning contemplation time. So don't get caught up in domestic quarrels with your siblings. You will have some sleepless nights because you're feeling on edge, like changes are coming, and they are. Check the beginning of the video. I've explained all about that. So you're going to get through this eclipse cycle coming up with this Mars dispositor. Mars takes control of all the eclipses now in a completely different frame of mind. You're going to change your mind about your future during the transit. That's the key thing. Pisces ascendant, Pisces moon, Mars can be helpful to you in this 8th house if you take the strides necessary to shore up financial difficulty, because you're going to make big changes. Business people wipe the slate clean during this transit. Everybody shores up investments, pensions, wills, legacies, and actually you know where you stand in all of these situations by the end of this Mars transit. It's a good transit for students. Mars is your 9th house lord with Ketu. Some of you may feel like you've got to change the course, do something big to make it work. You don't. You've got to buckle down, do the work. Mars here gives you tremendous insight for researchers, students doing anything with deep research. You get good results. Apply yourself to it. Maybe some agitation with your neighbors, with your siblings also, and definitely family tensions are there. You feel like people are putting a lot of pressure on you under this transit, but Mars is strong 8th house. Particularly deal with health issues now. Very, very important. Ketu is your co-lord, and Ketu is defeating Mars. Something to remember. What does this mean for Pisces? It means you will get on top of long-standing health issue. You will finally bite the bullet, do something, get the consultation, take the action, have the surgery, whatever it is. You will do something to confront long-standing health problems, and you'll be so glad that you did. On your screen right now, check out Rahu moving back into Pisces, and of course don't forget to check out the eclipse season. Very important transformative energies. Full list of all of my transit videos are there, including Saturn in Aquarius. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now. God bless everyone.